Well, they have plenty of reason to be smiling and jumping up and down inside Alico Arena. The Eagles with a dominant first half, lead by 18, and start the second half with the basketball. Norelia takes it right at Newton. Here comes Rivera and the Hatters, who you figure need to get off to a quick start.
Well, the Hatters need to get off to a quick start, but the Eagles need to get off to a start that extends the lead and doesn't give the Hatters hope.
In the corner, Doyle, a little too strong with the three. Quickly the other way. Morant posting up on Peg. Lazy pass, stolen away by Miles. He drives by Terrell for the bucket.
I mean, Miles saw that coming a mile away.
And Terrell was smart enough not to foul him.
See, that's another smart move. High basketball IQ.
1 minute gone, second half. Morant double teamed quickly, and he traveled. So,
see, 2 empty possessions. You can't have that if you want to pull away from people.
FGCU committed 5 turnovers early and then played the final 12 minutes of the first half with just 1 turnover, but 2 to start this second half. Doyle back to Newton for 3.
Well, the lack of the Hatters putting the ball in the hole has saved the Eagles so far.
Doyle and Newton have each missed a 3 early on. Zach has it stripped. Hatters much more active defensively so far in the second half. Terrell with the drive, can't get it to go. Strong rebound by Doyle.
They've stopped Rivera from being able to penetrate so far tonight.
Not only is Rivera scoreless, 4 assists.
Big time move.
That was.
Terrell left open for 3. And then a battle for the rebound. Newton and Norelia. And Newton called for the push in the back.
Well, the only chance that the Hatters have of getting back in this game is making stops. And they've made stops, but they haven't been able to convert on the offensive end.
And the Eagles haven't been able to score.
Zach Johnson with the floater. Another stop for the Hatters. And a foul in the open court by FGCU.
That's what, 4 or 5 stops in a row, and they've only converted one of them.
Right.
Well, first things first. They're getting the stops, and they're certainly capable of scoring in bunches.
Yes, they can.
Miles back to Newton. Driving on both Norelia and Morant. Gets it back.
Wow.
Missed the bunny right there. Love to have that one back. Eagles yet to score here in the second half.
Almost 3 minutes.
Zach Johnson for 3. His first of the game. 5th 3 for the Eagles.
Almost 3 minutes into the second half to get a score.
But this is now their biggest lead of the game. Doyle to Newton. Blocked, but a foul. Newton will go to the line as Morant is called for his first foul.
Well, Coach, I see, your peeps up there in the Northeast are texting you about the Stetson game. And Marty Bogart Sr., who I was able to broadcast their AAU game, the Ohio Unity, up there in Cincinnati. But if you're up there, guys, you got to get some Bogart barbecue. You're going to love that place, David.
Newton hits 1 of 2.
Corey's taking a new approach to the referees, a little more subtle.
A very contentious first half between Corey Williams and the officials. Norelia.
Divine Miles had his hand on him.
Oh, yeah. He's reaching. Got caught.
Second foul on Miles. Second team foul on the Hatters. And unfortunately for Stetson, they've had their best 3.5-minute defensive stretch of the game, and they've made no headway on the scoreboard. And the Eagles can afford to be patient. The clock is their friend right now. Morant tries to alley-oop for Norelia. He tips it up 3 times, 4 times.
Wow. I have not seen a sequence like that in a long time.
Marc-Eddy
Second, third,
Norelia
fourth effort.
looking like the first team all-conference player he was last year tonight. Got a big night. Miles. And a late foul call. And it's on Stetson. It's on Pegg on the rebound, and that's the third on Brian Pegg. And the third.
So far, fellas, on the offensive end, must be good defense. Both teams started off 1 for 7.
Well, people have had good looks. They just haven't gone in.
Yeah.
And Stetson came out with those first 3 minutes very solid defensively.
I was going to give credit to the defense, but I think some of it's the poor offense, too.
I mean, the Eagles are plus 12 in the paint, plus 7 off the bench.
Simmons in the game for Morant coming out of the timeout. Pegg on the bench with his 3 fouls for the Hatters.
Well, that takes away their rim protector.
Also, their post-off player on offense.
Christian Terrell in the lane.
See, that's not a good possession at all.
No.
Miles quickly the other way. Well, Stetson's done a terrific job defensively for 5 minutes. If their offense can pick it up here, this can become a game quickly.
No, very much so.
Miles over to Glassford. The pull-up.
They just can't put it in the basket right now.
1 for 8.
They've got good looks.
Zach Johnson for 3.
And the Eagles are 1 for 8, too.
I mean,
Played nearly 5.5 minutes of the second half, and each team has scored but 3 points. Goodman for 3.
man.
Terrell drawing the foul.
Well, you know, if you aren't putting it in, you got a good move, veteran move there. Go to the hole, get
Take
fouled.
it to the basket.
Christian saw the opening right when he got to half court. Leo Goodman came over and committed the foul. 14th foul on the Hatters, which is not good. This obviously could lead to FGCU being able to shoot a lot of free throws down the stretch.
Just doesn't look like there's a lot of focus or intensity on either team's part on offense, and probably because when you don't shoot the ball well, you feel like you're playing worse than you really are. But as you said, Jay Webb, they've been all pretty good shots that both teams have taken. They're just not going in.
Trajan Tucker comes in for Christian Terrell. Terrell sits with 10 points in the game. And the Eagles showing full court pressure. Reggie Reed will draw the assignment of Divine Miles. Newton for 3.
Well, you know, he wasn't going to miss many more.
Nope.
He caught it and stepped right into that. Second 3 of the night. 6th 3 of the night for Stetson. Simmons quickly double teamed.
The Eagles are showing really good patience.
Moving screen, however.
Screen.
Kevin Mickle.
And David, they've been consistent on that call all night.
Yeah, they have. And they've called on both ends.
Yes.
Good.
Well, with the Eagles in quite the offensive funk here, and credit Stetson a lot for it, A couple of buckets would go a long way right now for the Hatters. Glassford with the drive and the dish, but before the dunk, a foul.
Eagles are mixing up their defense and handling the ball screens in this second half. The last time they went behind and Newton picked and popped and he hit the three that time, they switched and they drew the foul.
Kevin Mickle has picked up 2 quick fouls here. He now has 3, and he has just picked up his 4th. And Mickle is the defender that Joe Dooley wants to have on Derek Newton. And in a matter of about 20 seconds, the moving screen, the foul on Dennis, and now defending Newton there. Mickle's gone from 1 foul to 4 fouls, and he has to sit down. And without Mickle on the floor, Derek Newton is a big problem for the Eagles. Goodman. Stetson's got an opening right here.
Big possession for the Eagles right now. Stem the tide.
Rayshon Scott Jr. in the game for Mickle. Seven minutes gone, second half. Scott took his eye off the ball. Newton the steal. He just shoveled it along to Miles, who drives and draws the foul. Stetson has picked up their intensity. FGCU has lost theirs.
And they've been very aggressive attacking the basket. Newton underneath and Miles on the drives to the basket, drawing fouls. 16 fouls on the Eagles already, so the next one puts them in the 1-1.
Joe Dooley, I think, was trying to buy as much time as he could with Goodwin and Norelia on the bench. But that period of time is over. As Reed and Scott check out, and Goodwin and Norelia check in.
And let's not forget, we've said this many times, the three-point field goal can change a game quickly and completely. And this is a team that can get hot from the arc.
A couple minutes ago, Stetson trailed by 19. 12-point Eagles lead with a little over 12 to play. Simmons double teamed. Tucker for 3.
Somebody's got to make a shot. Somebody make a play and make a shot for the Eagles.
Here comes Miles. Stetson scores here. Wouldn't be surprised to see FGCU take a timeout. Newton. Out to Goodman for 3. Goodwin in transition. Zach Johnson for 3.
Well, that's a much-needed basket for the Eagles.
That one. We certainly did.
Think about how big that sequence was. Goodman misses his 3. Zach Johnson hits his. Instead of a 9-point game, it's now 15. Miles to Dennis, who lost it. A rare Hatters turnover, just their 5th. Zach Johnson.
He's feeling it.
Steps right into it. This is his time of the game. The game in the second half.
3 threes for Zach Johnson. He has scored 9 of FGCU's 10 second half points. Miles over Goodwin.
That was a
Goodman. Norelia down low.
you can't throw soft passes.
Yeah, you telegraphed that too.
Miles with the drive and the bucket.
Made him pay. Turnover for a score on the other end.
12 for Miles. 12 for Newton.
Would you call him, Coach, Divine Miracle Miles?
Yes.
But despite everything, Stetson's played much better the second half. They've only chopped 2 points right now off the halftime deficit.
No, that was not a good shot there. Not a good shot.
No. Off the dribble beyond the arc is not his wheelhouse.
Miles spinning,
that move.
blocked by Norelia with the left hand.
Reducing the productivity of the Eagles. They're holding them 3 for 13 in the second half, but they're only 4 for 16, so they're making no progress.
Newton off the inbound.
Well, Newton says that's progress, Coach.
Newton with 6.5, 14 for the game. Hatters also have FGCU in a bit of team foul trouble with 6. So they could climb back in this game quickly at the line in the final 10 minutes. Goodwin for 3.
Good touch. And let's see what kind of recognition they have, because they know the next foul is going to be the 7th.
Peg spun right into Morant, who took the ball away from him.
Well, see, big men got to make big moves. You can't do doing that ballet stuff.
Yeah, and he was so effective around the basket last game.
Yes.
He's having a tough night.
And he's a senior. Zach Johnson over Peg.
Oh, now that's an athletic move.
Yeah, now we've seen the no-look pass. That was a no-look shot.
Brian Pegg's just got to be shaking his head going, that's unfair.
At least he didn't foul him.
Knocked away by Tucker. Retrieved by Miles. Miles for 3. Brandon Goodwin is hurting, and that's why he asked Zach Johnson, please take the ball from me. I need a moment to gather myself.
Yeah, got an elbow. He's fine.
Goodwin splits the defense and draws the foul.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. He was setting them up. You know, I think I don't remember the huge brace on Rivera's right knee from Thursday night.
He did have that, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he just doesn't look as explosive off the dribble as he was the other night.
Well, I think the Eagles are taking away those.
Yeah.
Those gaps aren't there tonight.
Yeah. They're doing a much better job on him. I didn't know whether it had anything to do with the injury or not, but it's just good defense. And making the adjustment of giving him a little cushion rather than play him tight where he can beat you on the first dribble.
That free throw gets Goodwin to double figures with 10. He'll check out. Reggie Reed will check in.
He said he took an elbow.
This is the biggest lead of the game for FGCU at 20. Miles checked out during those free throws, and Glassford checked in for Stetson. Newton. You know who's been quiet lately? Luke Doyle. Hasn't scored in this half.
Hasn't gotten the ball.
Morant dribbles out of the double team. Reed for 3. Morant takes it away from Newton.
That was a grown man's big time.
Was.
Give me the ball.
And the Eagles, after Stetson cut it to 12, pulling away. Rivera over Reed. Peg has it knocked away. Here's Christian Terrell taking it right at Doyle. 12 for Terrell, and the Eagles are up 24.
Great look ahead.
And Peg draws the foul. Jumped on NJIT early, and they continue to lead big.
The stat sheet tells it all. 30 points in the paint for the Eagles against 14 for Stetson, who outscored the Eagles in the paint last time. So they fixed that problem. And they have 14 second chance points compared to Stetson's 5.
Well, the Eagles have finally looked like they've put together 2 halves. And this has been something missing from the repertoire.
That's right. Even though they got off to a slow start, they didn't lose their poise and they stayed patient. And sooner or later, you got to believe they're going to get hot again because they're too good not to.
Zach Johnson with an alley-oop to Morant.
Well, if you're going to play well, this is the time of the year, isn't it?
This is it. This is when you want to peak, you know. Preseason, you do your testing and you check out what schemes and what combination lineups. Conference season, you want to get better and better as the season goes on. And playoffs, you want to be peaking.
Norelia couldn't get it to go. Marc-Eddy's got 12 points, 12 rebounds on the night. 4 of the 5 FGCU starters are in double figures. 7 minutes to play. And Morant called for the foul down. Low against Dennis. 8th team foul, so Larry Dennis will have a chance to cut into the deficit. Unfortunately for Stetson, Dennis not a good free throw shooter at 38%.
You see, you can have your hand on the guy, but once you extend it, it's a foul.
Yep. And it's right in front of the official, so he's not going to get away with it. No harm.
Shot clock is not moving when the officials notice it. All right, they're going to stop everything. And now the referee, KB.
I knew they had to come over to David sooner or later.
And then way back in 2012, the Eagles made it all the way to the final. Led Belmont at the half before falling. Goodwin with the drive.
No. Did he go left hand off the glass?
Oh, you did go left hand.
But he was
double pump.
Down, double pump.
Double pump. Look at this.
Brandon Goodwin, the transfer from UCF, voted newcomer of the year.
First team all conference.
13 now for Goodwin.
He's been a difference maker for the Eagles all year.
Oh.
And what a shock this has to be to the Hatters system. They let one get away against FGCU on their home floor in early January. And 4 nights ago, as Doyle fires up a 3 and hits.
They finally found him. And he found the rim.
Listen, he hasn't shot in like about 11 minutes. I mean, he's like a microwave.
Yeah.
But 4 nights ago, it's a 1-point game with 3.5 minutes to play. And the Hatters have to be just stunned. Zach Johnson gets caught up in the air and still manages to hit the jumper.
There are no answers for the Hatters because they have to play man-to-man defense now, and they can't guard this team.
5.5 minutes to go. Three-pointer. Missed by Glassford. Norelia the rebound. Goodwin with the drive.
Oh, Lordy.
Johnson for 3. And Goodwin's hurt.
Oh, boy.
And Brandon Goodwin is hurt.
Yep.
He grabbed his left knee.
Oh, boy.
Brandon Goodwin is hurt. Battered and bruised is one thing.
Yes.
Injured is
another.
another.
Yeah.
Clean play.
Yes.
That's just guys going at it.
Well, see, that's what happens sometimes, Pete, when you get up in the air. But what a great assist.
And he didn't get knocked by anybody either,
no.
so there would have been a foul call.
No.
Zach Johnson did hit the 3 from the corner, his 4th 3 of the half. Zach with 16 in the half, 19 for the game.
Yes, Michael, how did he find him up in the air like that?
I was going to say, it was an acrobatic play just to get the pass off.
Dennis down low. Spinning on Morant, scoring on Morant.
Well, Morant was smart enough not to foul him.
Yeah.
Norelia down low.
No hurry. Don't try anything hard.
I think Marc-Eddy wants to take it at Newton here.
He didn't square up well on that shot at all.
No.
Goodman, as we near 4 minutes. Knocked away from behind by Norelia. 3-on-1 now for the Eagles. Reed to Zach Johnson. Good defense by Doyle. He defended that 3-on-1. Goodman missed the 3. for the Hatters, which would have cut it to 9. And on the other end, Zach Johnson hit a 3. And pretty much from then on, it's been all FGCU.
They've been in control.
How much longer do you keep the starters in if you're Joe Dooley?
I'd say another minute and let him sit.
Yeah. Or you find out how badly Goodwin's hurt and get him out in early.
Reggie Reed.
Whoa.
Norelia saves it. Knocks it off a Hatter player.
Now that's the energy Marc-Eddy Norelia brings to the Eagles.
And that happened because he never gave up on the play. He could have easily with, a 25-point lead.
We've just been handed a note. Brandon Goodwin, bruised hip, done for the night. Early indication they don't think it's serious, but they'll do all the tests tonight and tomorrow. Thursday is when FGCU would play again. Final 3.5 minutes.
I mean, our broadcast partner's on a roll. He goes 13 seconds on the clock, and he said bruised hip.
There you go.
I mean, one more, that's a triple-double there you're looking at.
He's at the top of his game, just like the Eagles tonight.
The ball slips out of Goodman's hands, out of bounds. He's not in the game right now, but I want to give a shout out to Brian Pegg of Stetson. The Pegg brothers.
Yes.
I mean, next year will be the first time in damn near a decade
We haven't seen a Pegg in a lineup.
that a Pegg will not be playing basketball for Stetson. Brian Pegg, nearly 1,100 points in his career, which is winding down right now. He is going to check into the game at the next stoppage. Reggie Reed.
And his brother was an outstanding player also.
Absolutely.
Both of them very good students. They both won the Scholar Athlete Award.
It's always nice when you got a guy that can score and help that GPA coach.
Yes. Be the tutor on the road.
Yes.
Newton for 3. And Corey Williams takes a timeout to be Kennesaw leading throughout. Look at Jacksonville. They have tightened things up against their crosstown rival with 2.5 to play. And Lipscomb with a big lead at home at the half. Stetson brings back everybody but Pegg. Rivera and Miles in the backcourt. Luke Doyle. I mean, Miles, Rivera, Doyle will all be seniors next year, as will Glassford, Dennis. It'll be a very experienced team.
Well, I think this year, with Pegg being injured, they had a lot of injuries earlier in the year that's affected.
Yeah.
They're in you can't practice if players are hurt.
Yep.
So this is a dangerous team. And they've caught the Eagles on a night when they finally put together two halves.
Well, and Pete, you mentioned before the game that you think Stetson's entire season was dramatically impacted by losing that conference opener to FGCU with an 8-point lead with a minute to go.
Well, they took them into overtime in the championship game last year. They had everybody back in the lineup. They thought they're coming into this year, we can beat this team on our court. 8-point lead with a minute 20 to go. That's devastating when you lose that, especially on fouling somebody on a desperation shot. They lost 8 out of their next 10 conference games after that. I don't think they ever recovered.
Final 2 minutes. Glassford loses it. Reed the steal.
Well, Carlisle comes in and does what he does, creates that defensive energy.
Joe Dooley looking to empty the bench as the walk-ons are all sitting at half court. And right now, Reggie Reed is just dribbling out the clock. I think he thought Joe Dooley was going to make the substitution during the possession. Instead, Reed will finish the possession with a bucket.
The mercy rule is in effect.
And Reed commits the foul to allow his teammates to be able to get into the game.
Joe Dooley's got to feel really good about his team's performance tonight, especially after the way they played 2 close games against his team in the regular season, and now they peak as the playoffs begin.
4 Eagle starters in double figures, and Demetrius Morant finished up with 8 points. Miles at the line. Derek Newton still on the floor with 17 for Stetson. Luke Doyle with 12. And Divine Miles, after that miss, has 13. Carlisle with the drive. Ball slipped out of his hand.
Oh!
Max Bleacher.
Bleacher comes in, baby.
And Brandon Goodwin. Left hip may be bothering him to play, but not to cheer. Miles with the rebound and a foul. For Max Bleacher, this is just the 4th game he has played in this year. That's just his 11th point of the season.
Tell you, had a tough night for the Hatters. Rivera, no points and no turnovers, 5 assists.
Well, I think that, they just said, hey, there's no more sliver zone for you, baby.
Yeah. They've done a great job on him defensively.
FGCU Thursday night will be back at home. Eagles will be home as long as they keep winning in the ASUN playoffs, having secured the top seed. And Joshua Coe called for the travel.
Joshua Coe says, I don't get any PT. You're going to call a travel?
Coe looks at him and says, come on, don't you have to officially walk-ons differently? KB Burdette goes, nope.
Nope.
Burke down low, kicks it out. Goodman for 3. Bleacher the rebound. Eagles looking to run.
You know they're going to run. Coe's going to put up a 3. Yo! Yo, Coe!
Oh, boy. They are having so much fun.
His first 3 of the year.
I tell you, and they deserve it.
They work hard every day in practice.
They're the scout team, the managers. Hey, I tell you, a lot of people help make a team good, don't they, Coach?
They sure do, and they never get the credit they deserve. So it's good to see them seeing some action and scoring and having fun.
And a foul on the rebound. And Kevin Nahiro, a sophomore from Ontario, will go to the line and shoot 2. Now, do you let him shoot in the final 12.3 seconds, or do you make him dribble it out?
No, you dribble it out.
No, even with the walk-on, they don't get that.
And with the missed free throw, the final score will go into the books. FGCU 87, Stetson 57. The Hatter season comes to an end at 11-12.